The U.S. Army announced last week that 4 senior executives from top technology firms, including the CTOs for Meta, Palantir, OpenAI, and 2 guys from OpenAI. One is the chief product officer, and the second one is the chief research officer. They might be, very smart people. We like smart people.
Chief research officer, your people, Brandon.
So I get in the military.
Does he use ChatGPT?
He works for OpenAI.
He works for it. He works for it.
So if you can pull up the article.
Yep. There we go. Yeah, Palantir, Meta, and OpenAI. They've all appointed members of their executive teams as lieutenant colonels in the U.S. Army.
Wow, and skip the line.
Yeah, and they also didn't have to go through basic training.
Right.
Which is
Well, they did it
fun.
remotely, okay? No, I'm being serious.
The basic
I'm
training?
being very serious. I read about it. Yeah, they can serve and do their training remotely.
Imagine
How does that work?
other branches of the military adopting that. Like, you're going through Hell Week.
Right, in your living
over
room.
Zoom.
In your living room.
So
We just need you to make your bathtub cold and sit in it for 6 hours.
So this unusual move marked the launch of Detachment 201, the Executive Innovation Corps.
Nice.
All right. A pioneering initiative designed to integrate Silicon Valley's cutting-edge expertise with military modernization. All right. We're going to get into that a little bit later. They have to be in for 120 days annually. And what they're actually doing, and this is my opinion, all right? The Army, all right? Whenever the government had tech, we're like 10 years ahead of the current tech. You know what I mean, Brandon?
Yep.
Like the microwave, they had it for 20 years before it hit your kitchen.
Right.
And technology is advancing so fast right now, Brandon, that we're in a crossroad where civilian tech or private tech and foreign tech that never happened before, Connor. All right, foreign tech is taking over how fast our government tech.
Well, we give it all away, so we help them a little bit.
We do give it all away, and then especially in the Russia-Ukraine, war zone, we've seen a level of like on-field, wartime innovation that has been having everyone, all the higher brass of the Army, the Navy, and Marines rethink what we're doing with our Army. You know what I mean?
Gamer nerds are the future.
We have the whole drone warfare that we're actually very behind. All the drones that we produce, they're amazing. They're incredible. You can start flying them here and then end up in Tehran. But at the same time, they're very expensive. So you have guys on the ground, taping an explosive to. I'm hitting all the code words here, right? I'm hitting all the taping an explosive to a drone, and that is like $600 max. And I think I read about the cheapest drone we're able to make is around $10,000 to $15,000 in a little busing thing.
That's why it's retarded that we're spending $1 trillion on our military budget.
What do you mean? We need to get better.
Because we overspend on
We're
things.
not doing anything really. Like, if you said, we could manufacture drones for that cheap or whatever, but like everything is overpaid, and that was one of the things. Overcharged. That's one of the things Doge found of like.
But didn't do a single thing about.
Yeah, this 10-cent screw cost the taxpayer $4,000.
Right.
Let's lay people off.
Like a basic hammer. It's like
they
this
ordered
magical
50,000
hammer.
of these screws, so that's where most of your budget went. And really, the way to get rid of it is to cut park rangers, but give us all your data behind the scenes because we're interested in that.
Crazy.
But
It makes sense of why they'd want these people. It's partially symbolic, but also partially practical. They've basically deputized big tech to help keep the military current with all the technology. I just think it's interesting who they chose.
Yeah, why is OpenAI?
OpenAI, Palantir, and Meta.
I get Palantir.
So all the social media, all the data surveillance, and the AI large language model stuff that aggregates all the information.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting combination that shows where their focus is. It's all very tech oriented. The drone thing they've had for a long time. We've been on drones for quite a bit. It's now at the point where you can go on X and just scroll through an endless feed of Ukrainians committing war crimes with drones that probably costs $50 to manufacture.
And if you really think about it, like I know we trash Facebook all the time, but but they're the bleeding edge when it comes to augmented reality. All right,
Yeah.
the biggest selling VR headset right now, and probably history wise, is the Meta Quest. All right,
I mean, I can't think of another.
it's the biggest
VR
selling one,
brand.
Yeah.
right? And that's a game changer, Connor, when it comes to warfare. Because like when you can get augmented reality, like your headset, like your dumbest grunt, like if you put the right information in front of his face, he's gonna be much better. You know what I mean? So I think all this hirings, if you want to say it, they're very strategic.
Yeah, like the guy Palmer Luckey, Oculus, Facebook gave him what, like $2 billion for his company or something. So yeah, like they're going full steam ahead with the alternative reality stuff.
Well, I mean, a thing you've been big on and that I have always thought was awesome was the Black Mirror. Right back when that show used to be good, they did that episode where all the soldiers are deployed with VR headsets on, and they're fighting alien mutant things, they think, and then one guy takes his helmet off and realizes they're just gunning down civilians, and it's not actually...
And they're screaming, stop.
Yeah, they're not doing what they think they're doing.
I missed that one. That sounds like a really interesting episode.
What, season 2, maybe?
Right, I need to go back.
Season 1, 2, and 3 of that show were fantastic, and then all the normies got a hold of it, and then suddenly there's Miley Cyrus and a bunch of gay people in it, and it's not nearly as interesting.
The Miley Cyrus one was okay. Anyways.
Because apparently, like, most people can't actually kill somebody when they're faced with it. But so like that thing helped alleviate that because they thought they were just killing mutants that didn't make human noises.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, but think of the broader implications. It died off very quickly because everybody kind of hated it, and
Black Mirror?
No, the metaverse.
Oh yeah.
Where remember they rolled that out and it's like, this is going to be the new. You're going to build a business
Right.
in VR, and we were going to have the reality of Ready Player One, which. Why would we want that? The whole point of that story was how much it sucked.
Right.
But we're going to build that. And there were people who were paying millions of dollars for
houses,
virtual property because of its proximity to Snoop Dogg's virtual property.
NFTs because they wanted to hang artwork inside of their VR homes.
Meanwhile, while they were getting everybody plugged into the metaverse, Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg started buying up farmland and like actual commodities.
Right.
And, then they shifted over to building doomsday bunkers. But the metaverse, because it looked like a stupid cartoon, never really caught on, and it's still just kind of there. But the idea of moving everything digitally is still a very, very prominent movement.
Mm-hmm. And I think it eventually is going to happen. Now, I want to show you because you guys, I know you're not big Palantir fans, all right? I am big Palantir fan. I want to get this on the record because this conversation later in life is going to be recorded and analyzed. And I love these guys, and I think they're grateful. They're very grateful people. If you want to show the video of the parade.
Yeah,
Live free or die.
Peter Thiel is a very handsome man. Alex Karp has
Tremendous
great
guy.
hair.
Hey, he helped one of my heroes, Hulk Hogan. Good for Peter Thiel.
No, this is just a photo from Trump's military parade on the
Presented by
Big
Palantir.
Palantir float.
Presented by Palantir. That was just in the stands. Sponsored, brought to you by Palantir. United States Army has sponsorships.
I think part of what this is, though, is that they're incorporating this now because I've been saying for a while that eventually the big tech companies are going to be more powerful than the military with the technology they have. Like if Musk builds 1,000 or 1,000,000 robots, then that's more powerful than our military.
They pretty much already are.
Yeah.
Like imagine, what someone could do if Musk decided he no longer wanted to cooperate with the United States. What he could do with all the Starlink technology and the
they would probably have
SpaceX
to seize it from them.
satellite. Yeah. Steve Bannon proposed it, and of course nobody wants to see Trump invoke, the wartime powers and manufacturing acts and stuff against Musk.
Mm-hmm.
But if people like that are building critical technological infrastructure, and Musk is just giving out Starlink connections one after another to anybody who wants one.
And we don't know what his intentions are. Like I'm still very 50-50 on Elon.
This is cyclical, all right? Now the new boys in town are the Palantir boys, all right? Raytheon was all the rage in the 90s, all right? Mm-hmm. They were sponsoring everything. The good boys at Raytheon, now RTX, and it is what it is. And if you want to talk about oligarchs, okay, we had everyone that was moving steel, that guy, people that were in charge of moving things in trains, like old trains were built by...
Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilts and the Rockefellers
and the Rockefellers and all those guys. Like it is what it is. All right, it is what it is, and I think this is a smart move from the army. I'd rather have the Palantir guys work with us than to work with the enemy.
I mean, but you are their enemy.
How am I their
The
enemy?
American people
Eventually.
are their enemy.
Because they think you're pawn scum.
Anyway.
If you look at the commentary we gave during the rest of this episode, it's pretty clear that we will be the enemy eventually if we're not already there.
Right.
According to Laura Loomer, we are.
Like Amy mentioned, during the LA riots, when Laura Loomer was like, deploy Palantir to find out who all the rioters are.
Yeah.
It's like, well, first of all, why can it do that?
Yeah.
Secondly, why are we okay with that?
Right.
But, you know, Laura Loomer.
There's
is
nothing in the world
definitely-
Trump.
Larry.
Definitely trustworthy.
There's nothing in the world Trump could say that she wouldn't agree with, and I mean, I think that's all you need to know about her.
Good for her.
No,
You
not
know,
good for her.
She's full bought in. All right.
What if Trump said, like, I endorse Hitler, and she said, yeah, you know what, we should. Is that okay?
It's fine if she wants to go all in. Good.
No, because
You
it's
know?
not a thinking person. That's like not even a real person.
man.
Well,
wanna-
you can. I ignore her. That's
You want
my,
to talk about who's having the real crash out right now? It's Mark Levin.
Yeah,
Like-
he's the
That guy used to be so solid.
really.
Well, like have a
I always thought he was like irrelevant.
he used to have a reputation for being very
He was like the
solid.
11 o'clock guy because he wasn't exciting or entertaining.
But like
or
his
popular.
name used to carry weight. Now he's just yelling at Marjorie Taylor
So
Greene
his
on Twitter.
appearance carried weight.
I guess, but
No, he's going like full on psycho. Like, I don't know if he's like just emotional about it or if he's being paid, but he's like psychotic, like a war goblin.
yeah, I'm not gonna disagree. But like some of the legendary crash outs of all time are happening on social media because of Trump, Iran, Israel, nukes, Palantir. Like everybody's going nuts.
That's why keep it chill.
So if you like this clip, click right here. And if you want to see more like it, click right here. Stay angry, Patriots.